Calling the order, please stand for the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman Shaw, lead us in prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts and we ask you to give us wisdom as we make decisions that will affect our community. We ask you to bless and protect our employees, our police officers, and our first responders. We thank the members of the military, both past and present, and ask that you keep them safe. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
Looks like everybody's here. That's good. Minutes.
Motion for the minutes?
Second.
I have a correction.
Oh,
Okay, correction.
The last 2 minutes, my name has been spelled incorrectly.
Every time I get you.
Not every time. There's one N.
And where's it at, page 2?
No,
Well, at the very
First page.
beginning, yeah, first page. Right there.
Just call her Tucker.
Yeah, okay, that's
Call
right.
it Tuck. Well, you're new, aren't you?
yeah.
Okay, I have, with the correction of one error, motion by Bailey. Who's second, please?
I'll second.
Hazel, Hazel.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't hear.
Yeah, you gotta speak up. Bennett?
Yes.
Thomas?
I abstain. I don't believe I was here for that one.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Abstain.
Thank you.
Bills.
Motion for the bills.
Second.
Bennett?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Nice. Hourly workers' time report.
See one
Right on.
Yeah, those guys.
Was there one in there?
Mhm.
Yes,
I
sir.
thought so.
First
Okay.
one. Did you like this? This
I'm good, just.
is. Hi. Fireman's time.
Motion for the fireman.
Second.
Bennett?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Debbie.
Okay, each of you has in the packet the review of the 2022 budget. I'll do the first reading of the legislation tonight. If you could take the next 2 weeks to the next meeting. So we have 3 weeks, actually, 3. And maybe we could pass it by emergency, then it's gonna be late, but when you close out in July, you have to have time to work on it, present it, and have it passed.
Debbie, there's one thing on that I didn't see on there is the Apple High bill for down on the High River.
Why would I put that in the budget? That comes through the normal billing process now. I don't budget special for that.
Okay, so it don't show then how much we owe or nothing.
No, no.
Okay.
I did order a porta pot, only one. I'm having it placed at the pavilion. And I believe, I was told there is also one there from the Ball Association, so there'll be 2 down there this year. I have a request for myself. I have turned of age of Medicare. And normally what we had did originally when we had a gentleman go on Medicare is we paid his entire policy, but the whole policy was run through the existing healthcare plan that we had. That no longer is in effect. They don't do that. So the person has to get Medicare like Cindy did, and then we have to decide if we want any riders. And I've taken care of all my information. What I'm asking is for the village to reimburse me what we reimbursed Mrs. Willis, which was the $148 to pay for the actual Medicare plan until I leave and retire. And I think when I checked, my total cost right now that you're paying for me is $594.27 for my actual health insurance policy. So we'll be dropping down from that down to $148. And they would be paid like Cindy on every paycheck.
I'll make a motion when we pay the 140 Medicare costs.
148?
148.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
I will be off of the policy at the end of September.
I'll say it's about 5,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll save money, a lot of money.
All right.
Amy has entered the payroll for this pay period, and since she was doing the payroll, she decided that she would go ahead and pay the monthly payroll. So everybody that gets paid monthly, your deposits will be in your account this Thursday, along with the regular employees. We have several pieces of legislation we need to read. We have the second reading of resolution number 2110, a resolution creating the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 Special Revenue Fund within the 2021 Permanent Appropriations Budget for the Village of Beach City. These are for when I post the 51,000 that we received. Okay? That'll be your second reading. We have the second reading of ordinance number 2111, an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 17-14 and modify the policies and procedure for the eliminating noxious weeds and litter within the Village of Beach City, Ohio. Will be your second reading. You have ordinance number 21-12, an ordinance to amend section 2 and section 6 of ordinance number 20-10, and thereby revising the rules and regulations governing electric, water, and sewer account management, billing, and collections for the Village of Beach City.
That's second also.
Second also. We have the second reading of ordinance number 2113, an ordinance to increase the 2021 appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the fund accounts for the Village of Beach City, Ohio. And this, I did not put in the 51,000 from the ARP money. I'll do an individual one for that. That's the second reading of that, if you want to look at it. And then, ordinance 2015, okay, I'll do the first reading. It's an ordinance accepting and approving the 2022 budget for the Village of Beach City, Ohio.
No, this is the one we want
If we could pass it at the first
to
meeting in
go over
September.
for the next.
Yes. If you have questions on the budget, see me prior to that meeting, we can go over whatever you want to see your change. And then you have resolution number 21-06. It'll be the third reading and passing of a resolution authorizing the mayor of the Village of Beach City, Ohio, John Hartman, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs and to execute contracts as required.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
And I believe that's all I have.
Thank you, Deborah. Tim, do you want to open up the bids?
Okay, this is the bids for our vehicles that we no longer need in the village. I have the, I think it's a 1996 dump truck, the 1981 street sweeper, and the 1988 Case International tractor. I think I have 8 different envelopes here, and we'll just start opening them, see what they say. This one is for the dump truck. Mr. Brandon Carl, $1,500. Another one for the dump truck. Harold Newman dump truck, $1,100. Another dump truck / sweeper here. I have Derek Belito, dump truck, $503. Street sweeper, looks like $26. So. This one is street sweeper. I have a Harold Newman, $500 street sweeper. And look at this one here. This one does not say what it is for. All I have is a phone number, I think, on this one. Don Manthe, I believe his name is, bid on the 95 International truck, $4,100. There's that one. And then we have the farm tractor. This one is from Harold Newman. Bid on the farm tractor is $3,000. And another one for the tractor. Michael Raddick, tractor, $3,000. So I have a tie, it looks like, on the tractor, and if council remembers right, we had put a reserve
That's what I thought.
of $5,000 on the tractor. We'll say, actually, is it okay with council that I accumulate a spreadsheet on these and so everyone can see to award these? It looks like there's 15, 11. It looks like to me the dump truck would be to Mr. Manthe for $4,100. Everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
And then the street sweeper,
Mr. Newman?
dump truck. Looks like street sweeper would be Mr. Derek Belito for $503.
For how much?
No,
Five-
that
You
was.
said
no, no.
26.
You said
Oh, I'm
26.
sorry, my mistake.
And a 500.
Yes,
there was a
Mr. Newman
500.
had a $500 bid.
Yeah, that $503 for Mr. Belito was for his truck.
Right.
He had street sweeper at $26. So Mr. Newman
Mhm.
would then be $500 for the
Right.
street sweeper. My apologies for that.
That's okay.
And we had a reserve on the tractor though of 5,000.
That's correct.
So we'll have to, we'll redo that then? Put it out there again?
I will
Or we'll
take council's lead on that. Even if we don't, we have a tie of $3,000 for the tractor. So irregardless, I would have to rebid that anyhow, I believe. And it still didn't meet our reserve on that, so I would suggest that we reject the bids for the tractor.
Did they know what the reserve was? on
That's
it?
correct. It was clearly stated in the newspaper article.
Just, I think, if you had a tie where there were two at 5,000, it's highest and best. So to the extent council is willing, you could deem one or the other to be a better bid. See if they said, I'll give you certified funds, and the other said personal check, and you said, well, they're the same, so neither's highest, but we think this one is best. You'd have to really
Break a tie?
break the tie. Here, it's underneath the reserve, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, well, we need motions on the,
I make a motion, we sell the dump truck for the 4,100 and the sweeper for the 500. recommend that, and we put the rebid out for the tractor. Is that good with you, Georgie?
Would it be better to rebid or contact those guys and see if, see if they want to meet the reserve? I mean,
It was
I
a
don't know,
closed
what do you
bid.
think?
Yeah, you probably have to advertise it again, just
Yeah.
to open it up to everybody.
And there's other things that I'm planning on advertising, so we'll just add it back to the,
That's fine then.
Bennett,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Maybe I'll put that on the garage sale this weekend. Put the tractor out front of the, try to sell it.
Wouldn't hurt nothing if you did put a sign on it, huh?
There you go.
yeah?
First 5,000.
Yep, first 5,000 takes it. The other two things we got, Rod, you're gonna schedule a finance meeting?
Yes.
And that'll be
We're gonna schedule it for next Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
on the 25th.
25th.
Yep. 6. And then the other thing, I have a council meeting, instead of coming here on Labor Day, we're gonna come here on Tuesday, which would be September 7th, if that's okay with council.
I'll make a motion, we change it to the 7th.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
And Schott.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, also the RPC meeting, if you guys, it's in your packet there. If you wanna go online or whatever, they do it that way, but you have to make a reservation. That's for the, we can go over there or you can do it online. Okay. And, that's all I've got
You're
there.
on the committee or whatever, aren't you?
Yeah.
We need to find out.
BC7 dispatch.
I would like to know before I would attempt to go, are we qualified?
That I don't know.
Since the, wonder if they would tell us if we called.
I might have to call them.
But since the new census was done,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
we
'cause
were
you're gonna
not,
spend all those hours
eligible.
doing it, and then they're like, sorry, you're not eligible.
I'll call them tomorrow, because she sent me a link today. So, yeah, I'll call her. Okay, how about fire, since you're here today? How much money you need today, Bill?
John, you know I only come when I need money.
I know, but we're just happy to see you.
I'm just kidding. First thing, with the meeting being changed to Tuesday next time, obviously I will not be able to be here. So if I need money, I'll just send it over to John. No, that's our fire department meeting and I need to be over there. So if something comes up, I will come over, but if not, I'll be across the street. Total calls year to date, 211 calls. As of the same date last year, we were at 162. That's almost 50 calls higher than we were last year. We've been extremely busy. I know last year we actually slowed down with the code, which seems out of the norm, but I think people were just so afraid to call, they didn't want to go to the hospital, so we've been super busy. We have been handling the bulk of our calls, which I'm happy to report that, even though they're coming in at times where sometimes we may have not had a crew, we've been able to pull it off. So mutual aid summary for August 3rd to August 16th is as follows. Given Brewster mutual aid 5 times, we received mutual aid from Brewster 2 times, and we received mutual aid from Wilmot 1 time. So going down through here, just some general stuff. The fire siren seems to be working great. We had the other unification pager in. I don't know of any times it has not went off for the fires. And if it goes off in the middle of the night, we'll deal with it. That's a Red Center thing. They got 2 buttons. If they hit the wrong button, it's going to blow at 2 o'clock in the morning. The siren don't know no better. So we haven't had that. So we'll keep our breath or hold our breath and hope it don't happen. I would like to recognize 4 of our members, firefighter Jerry Weaver, Spencer Pulley, Eric Vukovic, and Dustin King all went to the firefighter field day down at the Dover Fairgrounds. That was Saturday, August the 7th. They represented Beach City Fire very well down there. They did take 4th place in the bucket brigade. It's a great event they hold every year. There was a bunch of people down there. I don't know how many teams competed, but they did represent us very well, and I thank them for going down. So if you did see our engine, we took our 91 engine down there. If you did see it leaving town, that's where it was heading, was down there, so the kids can look at it and stuff like that. It's a really great thing they do every year. I want to remind everybody, school resumes this Wednesday, so watch for the kidders, watch for the buses. Try to slow down. That's in 2 days. It seems impossible that summer's almost over, but here we are. So with that being said, I also want to let everybody know we will be helping covering EMS coverage during the Fairless football games. We got 2 of them on the schedule Jen give us. One is September 10th and the other one being October 22nd when we play Tuslaw. So our squad will be up there both them days. Squad 135 at this time is still out of service at Liberty Ford. The last I talked to them, our service rep for us was out on vacation last week. The part was slated to be produced last Friday. It was supposed to ship this past Monday. She said it would be probably the end of the week, end of this past week before they got the part, and she was hoping that the squad would be back together by the end of this week. I reached out to her today. She must still be on vacation. She did not call me back. I will reach out again tomorrow. I do know that we were getting closer. I do know also they got to recheck that rear end of that squad. So I don't know where we're going to be. I'm hoping to have that truck back by the end of the week. I looked at a picture of it the other day. Just remember what it looked like. I've had it so long. So yeah. So that's where we're at with the squad. The FEMA grants are still being awarded every Friday. This Friday coming up will be the 5th round. We have not received anything as of yet. I got a call this morning congratulating me from the sales rep from a company saying, hey, congratulations on the award. I got super excited, called the grant writer. Here it was Beechwood, not Beach City. So no, we did not get an award. But we are definitely still in the running. Good notes, we did get the form for the construction, which would be contingent that we would probably get our grant for our Cascade, and we also got a form a few weeks ago to fill out for what we paid our grant writer, which is a good sign, which means that we're probably, and I do say probably, going to get this grant, and we're hoping that we get this grant. With this grant, we will get all 15 of our SCBAs, 30 bottles, 20 masks, which will give everybody their own private mask, which we should have had years ago, and also the new Cascade, pending it comes through. So this Friday is round 5, and as of yet, we have not heard anything, but that's okay. We still got time.
Bill, how many rounds they have?
It's different every year. It depends on what they award.
How much money they got left?
Right. It depends on what they award and how much they got left. I do know just this past week, Mohawk Valley, which was Sandy Township and Waynesburg, I believe, just received like $400,000 to build a new pumper tanker. So, I mean, the money's coming this way. It just hasn't made it to us yet. So hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed. I do want to thank the Beach City PD and also the council for donating the police cruiser to us. We did do JAWS training on that cruiser last week. Yes, last Tuesday. We did not roll it over, but we did realize there's definitely some different things to look at with a police cruiser and a cage being in it. So it was a very unique training. We want to get some more cars. We want to train some more. We want to do some more advanced techniques. But it was great to get, especially our new guys like Corey, Dustin, some of them that haven't got to use the JAWS. It was absolutely fantastic to get them down there, get them involved, and it was a great training. So we thank everybody for the car. I have not talked to Casey. I know we loaded it that night. We were pretty late, and he was going to get it to the scrapyard for us. I don't know if he has done that or not. I will find out tomorrow. So, but again, thanks for the donation of the car. So here we come to the part you always love. So pump tests. We got to schedule pump tests for our 2 pumper trucks and our tanker truck. This is an annual thing we do every year. I talked to Debbie the other day. She said, let's get it scheduled. Like I said, we have to do it. He is clear out to October the 11th is the soonest he could get us in. I wanted to do this for the snow flies, and he is booked. So since he's so far out, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys for permission. Debbie definitely has told me the money is there. Pump test is going to be about $500 per truck. We agreed a few years ago we will maintenance the trucks every other year. We did that last year. So this year we run a pump test and pump PM only. It may go up a little bit if we have some leaky valves or something. I can't tell you that until they get down there and start putting it on a pump test. So for October the 11th, which we're pretty far out, but I'd like to go ahead and get it approved. I need to send engine 131, engine 132, and tanker 133 to Advantech. We're looking at about $1,500 total to do that.
I'll make a motion for that.
Second.
Bennett? Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Now, the only other thing I'm asking for, if you guys remember, we got our EMS grant. We sent 2 people to school with that. They'll be starting in September. That's my boy Corey and also Dustin. The total grant award was $4,425.31. We have to use them funds before December 31st. Sending the 2 people to school was $2,400. It was $1,200 apiece. That leaves us a balance of $2,025.31. I am asking for permission tonight to spend $737.72. That will get us 2 new medic bags and 2 new first out trauma bags for our squad. That'll be 1 each. Our bags are pretty ripped up. They're fairly old. This is something that the grant will cover. And even after this, we'll still have $1,287.59 to spend before December. So we will spend the money, but it will be reimbursed. So it was $737.72.
For the 737-32.
72, sorry.
737-32, right?
72, 737.72.
737-72.
Second.
Bennett?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
So then the only other thing I got, bingo, we started 2 weeks ago. Bingo's been, so-so. I mean, hopefully things pick up. I will say that. I can't forecast the future, but we're gonna hope they pick up. And we'll go from there. And then the last thing I got is the quarter auction. I wanna remind everybody it's Saturday, October the 30th. Doors open at 5 and the auction will start at 6, and that is put on by Our Lady Social Assembly. So that's a big fundraiser that they do for us and helps us tremendously, especially in the times we're having right now. So that's all I got.
Hey, Bill, do you have any problems manning bingo games? I know
We haven't had any problems as far as crew working. The first weekend we did a little better. We were very optimistic, and then last week was not so good. So maybe it'll pick back up. Maybe, and the thing that's killing us is, I mean, everybody reads the news every day. I mean, the COVID's coming back with force. So I mean, God knows how long until they're going to start applying restrictions, making us do different things. I do know we're mandated in the squads to the state to still wear masks, and I would encourage my guys to anyway, because God knows what you're getting into. So, yeah, it will, only time will tell. We'll see what happens.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Chief Guy.
Alrighty. Couple things. So the last 2 Thursdays, my officers had trainings. First one was our LiDAR. So we all took a training on that so that we can carry a LiDAR unit. It's a handheld laser the Village of Wilmot bought us. We can use for both villages. So it's a great tool, a great addition to our police department. We were also TASER certified last Thursday. So we all got our certifications to be able to carry the TASER. I was actually ended up getting tased on Thursday night part of the training, so went and took a hit on it. So it's definitely, for court, it's good when you go in there, you can say that you used the appropriate amount of use of force while doing it. So as part of the training, some of the officers did end up getting tasered. So it's all part of it, it's all medically, it's all a controlled environment, everything's good there. Well, first off, for the fire department's quarter auction, they have that coming up in October, you said, Chief?
Yes, October 3rd.
They are planning on possibly having alcohol there, and are wanting an officer to be there as part of that. Do you guys have any issue with me having an officer go there and not charging the fire department for it as part of their fundraiser? Do you guys have any issue against that?
I don't.
I don't.
Because it's part of a donation thing, I have no problem if you guys are okay having an officer stand by there if they do end up with a liquor license.
Would you vote on that?
I make a motion, we send an officer to the fireman's quarter auction. Is that when you plan on that?
Yes.
Second,
At no charge to the fire
At no
department.
charge to the fire department.
It's a good fundraiser for them, and they help us out with trainings and everything else using their facilities, so I'd like to be able to give back to them.
Bennett?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
yes,
And Shaw?
Yes.
Is this the first time we had alcohol there?
Yes, this is something ladies want to try. The FDRU, well, you're thinking about coming now, aren't you?
Oh, I was gonna come anyway.
I'm just teasing. The FDRU is a fire department rehab group. They do alcohol at theirs, and it's a great, the downfall of it is we do gotta buy a liquor license, which is nothing, but we always provide security when we do any liquor. So that's why I talked with Chief Geip, and we've been talking back and forth, and we really appreciate it, because it's really helping us. So, yeah, it'll be the first year for it.
Is it just gonna be beer, or is it gonna be?
It'll probably be beer and wine coolers. It's not gonna be liquor. It's not gonna be nothing like that. It'll be simple, and it'll be well watched, and I mean, you'll have no worries, so.
I need to order a new paper shredder. We checked the paper shredder in the back here. Debbie loves her paper shredder, does not want to give it up, so I'd like to approve and order a new one of those. I would like up to $500 to get the weeds and landscaping cleaned up around the police department. It's an absolute mess. I want to get those all pulled. I want to put gravel down instead of mulch. That way it's easier maintained, as well as landscaping mat or whatever, just to help control that. Do you want to do one motion on everything, Debbie, or do you want me to do it separate?
I don't care, I wrote them both down.
Okay, and the other thing I need is while doing the taser training, we learned that the battery that comes with the taser, they make 2 different batteries, well, 4 different batteries, but the one that comes with it, whenever you taser somebody, it's supposed to be 5 seconds. At the end of 5 seconds, it's supposed to shut off. With this battery, as long as that trigger's pulled, it keeps on tasering.
Nice.
So they make a battery that will, after 5 seconds, shut it off irregardless of if that trigger's pulled or not. And when your adrenaline's going and you're in the heat of the moment, 5 seconds isn't very long, and I would hate for someone to get tasered longer than they should be.
does that come back on after, so long after the 5 seconds?
If you pull the trigger
Pull the
again, it'll
trigger
come back
again.
on.
It come back on another 5 seconds?
Yes, but with this right now, as long as that finger's on that trigger, that person continuously getting tasered, and I do not want that to happen. Now, we can carry it this way right now with no problems, but the minute someone is in a situation, a high tense situation where they're trying to get this person subdued, 5 seconds goes by very
So
quick.
you're gonna keep 2 batteries, and the good one, and plus the 5-second one?
So what we'll do with the one that we have now is I'd like to use that as part of for training. And they also have to do what they call an ARC test every so often to make sure the weapon is functioning properly.
How often do you charge these batteries?
We do not. We can't charge them. So once they're done, they're just throwaways.
How many times would that, we'll say the one that you said that did?
I don't know how many times I can pull that trigger without it killing the battery. It's got a little battery meter. It also has a timer on it that will let you know. So as part of also needing the battery, I need a cable to be able to plug the taser in that it did not come with to plug into the computer, because every time you pull that trigger, it documents what it's done and it logs how long the trigger was pulled, how many cartridges were fired, what time they were fired. I believe it has a temperature gauge on it. It tells you everything. In fact, it shoots out little tiny pieces of paper that you have to grab at least 1 or 2 of those to put with it as evidence.
How much is this new battery then for 5 seconds?
I believe it's $75. So I'm gonna ask for up to $200 to get the downloading cable that I'm gonna need for it and the battery.
How much is the total on that, Debbie?
Don't have it yet. You didn't give us a shredder amount.
Well, I'm trying to think of what I paid for my shredder, and they wanted one a little bit bigger than what I have. You're looking about $150 maybe for the shredder. He asked for $500 for the cleanup. If we could get our own people to do it, I mean, I pulled all the weeds and cleaned it up, and I sort of suggested that we go up there and kill that stuff and rip it out, but I didn't ask permission, and I didn't write a work order, so nothing was done. And I think there's time for our own people to do this. We've got weeds almost as tall as me now. Rip them out, put another layer of ground cloth down, and bring in some sun and gravel. So it'd be maybe 2 hours of work time and a load of gravel.
Are you talking with the cruisers to park that right now?
I'm talking around the building. It
Around the
looks-
building.
It looks like a jungle.
Doesn't that fall under that noxious weed ordinance?
Oh, yeah.
But that don't make it look good, does it?
So, we need to get
Yeah,
the
I'll
quick
send you a
update.
letter tomorrow.
Thank you, I need one.
I just
Definitely
couldn't
one.
keep up with it all. You know, once I retire, it's different.
It's
I'll
not your
help.
job.
So what's the total amount if we're gonna have the labor thrown in,
850.
850 total?
Yep.
I make a motion for $850.
Mhm.
Franny
Okay.
said.
Bennett,
Yeah.
Thomas,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Well, it just hit me, we shouldn't need the 500.
No.
So it should be 350.
But I'm thinking, what else can I spend that money on?
You know, if she wants to put a couple more of those holly bushes over there that I tried to get ripped out, she caught me. Then I got a little bit extra money.
Okay, well, Jim, I guess you're up.
Okay. Water, wastewater. Smoke testing in Wilmot. I'm going to order the liquid smoke for that. That's the first part that I need to do. And once I have that, then the guy said he would nail down a date for us, which will probably be early in September, to do the smoke testing in Wilmot. I'm still working on our water meter, electric meter reading, and the hardware that goes with that. I did get one estimate for that. We are looking at grant money for that, but I'm also working with AMP and another vendor to get 3 prices. I did discover that AMP offers a service like that, and with AMP, theirs is cloud-based, and they host it, and they will do the better system, which is the AMI system with us. And AMP uses Itron meters, which is what we actually have right now in our electric. So it's, I just learned this recently, so it looks like it might be a better way to go. And we're still gonna look into grant funding to do it, so that's where I'm at on that. We're still interviewing our applicants for the water wastewater position. I do have one gentleman at this time that I would like to offer the position to, and I would like to ask council if they would like to meet this gentleman at our next meeting.
When are you gonna put in the work, if we hire him?
Do I need him to meet you before I can hire him?
I would say so, yes.
For the purpose of introducing it?
To council.
Yeah.
They need to meet him before I hire him?
Well, I think they could meet him and then make the decision shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Same night, probably.
Yeah, we'd do it in executive session, consider the appointment of a public employee. And then following the executive session, there could be action to be taken in terms of hiring.
3 weeks.
Yes. I'm,
There's no requirement that they meet it.
Okay.
I mean,
Can you go in at the wastewater place till?
how much do you care about the quality of service being provided? The answer is yes, I can.
That would be very nice, yeah.
If you're concerned at all about the quality of service being provided, I might not be the best fit for that.
I think you can handle it. I have
As
confidence.
long as I didn't get it back up in my house.
that's what I'm asking. Am I allowed to hire this gentleman without council meeting him?
Yes, legally, you're allowed to, as long as If you wanted, there could be an executive session for the purpose of considering the appointment of a public employee, even though he's not here tonight, we could go into executive session, you could discuss the reasons
Okay.
weighing in favor of or against hiring him, and maybe.
Mayor, did you get to interview him?
Oh, yeah, I was there.
What do you think?
He's more than qualified. We can go to executive session and talk about it, and then, you know, without him being here, I mean, because he's already been interviewed twice. And we go into executive session. Jim, you got his resume and stuff.
I
right?
do.
We can bring that back to you guys. You guys
Is
can
it-
look
I
at
mean,
it. and
is
see
that
his
really even
qualifications.
necessary? We hired Jim to do his job, we gotta let him do his job.
Well, I understand that. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you guys wanted to, we could do that, you know? But yeah,
It's
you know,
not necessary.
no, it's not
I have
necessary.
one question. Did you fill out the entire application?
Yes, he did. Completely.
Did he pass the physical already and all that stuff?
I haven't taken him to that yet. I wanted to make sure I was allowed to hire
In
him.
other words, we have to hire and then
I make him an offer and send him to those things.
I'll make a motion to hire and then he has to do that physical.
Second.
What you're saying is that you make a motion to hire him
After.
after he passes
The
his
physical.
physical.
Right.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could do
makes a
additional offer of employment, additional offer of employment based on his passing.
Okay.
All right, that's good.
You seconded that?
Who seconded? Bennett,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
and Shot.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll make sure he's at the next meeting, but I would like him to start as quickly as he can because we're hammered down now as it is. So, next item, I met with the Wilmot Mayor, Mr. Cooley, and their Board of Public Affairs President last week, I think it was Thursday. And they met me with their prospective buyer of a piece of property just outside of Wilmot. And this buyer wants to tap into our sewer system over there. So I explained to them the same that I've explained to the other two that have inquired about that. I don't have a problem with them tapping in. There's an expense involved, and I just encourage them not to be in a big hurry because of the issues we have over there. In other words, I didn't tell them no, but I didn't tell them yes either. Because of the infiltration and intrusion and the overwhelming of that one pump station we have, I've got some serious issues that I need to deal with, and that's part of the smoke testing.
What kind of timeline was they looking at to do anything if they started?
They were fine with that. They have not even purchased the property yet. So they're just trying to make sure they have all their ducks in a row before they do anything. 'cause
Does this happen to be property that involves highway number?
No, this
This is different
is
property?
the other, there's 3 properties in Wilmot they're looking, that they're asking us about already.
Do you know what they're gonna do with the property?
Yes, they said they're a pallet company, and they have a trucking company that goes along with the pallet company, and they wanna put a truck garage there. So wastewater usage would be minimal. They're not adding a whole lot, 1 or 2 bathrooms, maybe a truck wash bay. So nothing extraordinary going in there. But I also informed them that whatever they do, they want to make sure it was sized appropriately, because 120 acres, you could get a couple.
How many employees they plan on having there?
They said anywhere from 6 to 12, so not that many people.
But this one of the property?
It's, the entire property is 120 acres. So it's possible they could subdivide it out and do something else later. But for them to add sewer there, they're gonna have to put a pump station in basically, because of the altitude. So, just to keep you guys informed of what's going on over there. That's the 3rd inquiry I've had since I've been here about hooking up to wastewater in Wilmot. And that's where we seem to have all our issues.
You'll take care of them with that new smoke testing thing.
Hopefully I will find a lot of the issues that we can resolve easily, but there's always other issues that are unforeseen. you know, bad pipe, bad manholes where the water comes in. I know there's several manholes over there that lay low. In other words, when it does rain, the surface water floods the area and it's getting into the manholes that way. So it's a combination of many things, and the start is the smoke test. And then you find breaks in the lines where a storm catch basin could be tied into the sanitary. That's not unusual. Or you find downspout drains, things of that nature going directly to sanitary, and those have to be corrected.
See, when we built that, we built it twice the big as what we needed to begin with.
Mhm.
Then we got up to 80%. The government come in and said, you gotta build another plant to take care of it, where most of the water was coming from over Wilmot into our system. Instead of treating water, you know, instead of treating the way you want to, you treat water.
Yeah,
So that's what, that was the addition we had to put on down sewer plant there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of years ago, didn't they do a lot of that where they were running the
Downstairs.
spouting water?
Yep.
They made some.
We spoke
people
test
take
that
care of
before and caught several of them
Yeah.
at that time. Plus the one hydrant, they drilled a hole down through into our storm, so into our septic system, and the hydrant was drilled right down into it.
Mm.
They finally caught that.
We don't talk about that at open meetings, Frank.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going to be meeting with another contractor on Thursday in regards to the sewer break hole on 250. I have had nothing but trouble getting someone over there to make the necessary repairs to the road there. And it's not bad at the moment, but I'm sure the state, one of these days, is gonna be down my throat about it.
Have you ever talked to the guy down in Strasburg that's blacktopping?
I don't think so.
What's the,
Newton.
no,
Oh, yeah, I did.
you have, okay.
They don't wanna mess with it. I even talked to the guys that did this, and they said, oh yeah, we'll go look at it, and never heard of it. So, little things like that. And I had several conversations with the gentleman that was here last meeting from the insurance company, Joel.
Mhm.
And I got a lot of the issues that he had with things ironed out. And I do have the list of vehicles that we are still insuring. So I'm going to go through that line by line and make sure we're not paying insurance on things.
And I think you can check with Amy on that because she's already gone through it.
Okay,
She's pulled all the titles and double checked everything, so see Amy on that.
oh, good. Yeah, because there's things on there that we no longer use or have, I think. I'm gonna work on, and then I'll get back with Joel on updating those. I've scheduled street sweeping for the last week of August, right before the Labor Day holiday, so we'll have the streets swept again then. Tomorrow, the company's coming to put the new decals on 2 of the street department trucks and the 1 wastewater pickup truck. So make sure we have one out here when you guys come to next council meeting so you can see them. And I had someone inquire about extra police for the yard sales and the concert in the park. If you want another officer roaming around, I don't know, I think I talked to the mayor about it, but
I don't know if we've ever done that.
I think we have.
I just wanted to throw it out there and see if it's necessary.
The garage sell people aren't too violent.
Well, that's not the only problem. The problem is if you have parking where there shouldn't be parking and you have a policeman on duty watching all that, you have to have the vehicles moved. And usually they stayed locally, but they just didn't go up and down the streets and, yeah, you can get into situations with that.
So,
So, you know, we usually have someone on duty, but not specifically someone extra to watch the cars parking.
And they park over everything.
Yeah, they just park wherever, and if you move one, you're moving the whole street.
well, the other concern was the concert, 5 to 7.
Yeah, that's 5 to 7, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Couldn't you talk to Kurt and have him arrange someone to work that MSB?
That's what I'm bringing it up for.
Do you have somebody on schedule for that during that time?
I have nothing. This is my first, I believe my first real hearing about this, about what they need and what's going on. I'll work with the village minister and get it figured out.
Electric department, I've put out an advertisement for a lineman. I have received a couple of resumes, and I don't know that I've actually found a certified lineman in any of those yet. I did have one gentleman with about 25 years of experience, came up from Zanesville, wanted to look at our system and see if it was something he wanted to do. Very overqualified. This gentleman did line work out of helicopters and climbed a lot of high tension transmission stuff. And just to make council aware, he said he would love to come here and do this. This would be easy for him, but he would not do it for the rate that we were offering. Our load study should be underway now. I think everything's been turned in and it should be starting. I don't know what all it involves. This is my first time for that. But I have turned in all the information that they want. Should be underway. I have a meeting with AMP on August 27th, and we're going to begin discussing behind-the-meter generation. I've had a couple residences inquire about solar on their house, and they want to know what our legislation is, what our rules and regulations are for that to happen. And we really don't have anything that says yes or no, or how much, or anything. So AMP is coming. They have a model of legislation, and they have other communities that have already done all this, and they're up and running with solar behind the meter generation and wind generation and everything else that's out there. And being that I've had several inquiries now, I think we should be looking into this and getting something on the books, because it seems to be something that's happening more frequently now. And now that there's money out there for people to do this, we need to stay ahead of it. So August 27th, I'm thinking it's at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I got.
They're coming, a couple of them, to meet with us here and go over the whole package of behind-the-meter generation. We have a virtual meeting on Tuesday at 1 p.m. with Lexipol. We're going to connect on the computer with them, and they're going to go over their package with us, some of the things they want to do, what they're looking at. We're probably going to talk pricing and things like that on our employee policy handbook, creating one of those. It's just one avenue that we can take. There's other ways that we can do it. Lexipol is just one that's out there, but we'll see what they have to say. And if anyone's interested in coming to that and listening in, more than welcome. But I'll have some numbers or presentation for you guys at some point on that. On September 22nd, I'm having a competent person training with the Bureau of Workmen's Comp. It's a free training for our employees, and what it does is it makes us all aware of who a competent person is, and it all has to do with trenching and excavating, and it's part of the grant that we got for the new trench box. It's required training to receive that grant funding, which that trench box is ordered. We did get awarded the grant, so that's already in process.
You're gonna put the other one up for sale then after that?
It's one of the items I might put up on the bid sheet for next time for closed sealed bids, when we try to sell the tractor again. We've already talked about the yard sales Friday, Saturday, the concert in the park. The concession stand will be open for the concert in the park, 5 to 7. What else?
Excuse me.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
they,
We figured it wouldn't have the considered standards and had four, and that it would be like 3,
4 to 8.
yes.
My apologies. Correction, the concession stand will be 4 to 8.
Oh, okay.
And then on Monday, the 23rd of August, there is the Meet the Candidates down at the park. The CIC has set that up. I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. If you're a candidate.
We're
for
talking, we're going from
council.
September to, we're going back to August?
I'm sorry, did I go backwards?
Is it 8/20?
8/23, Monday, 8/23, Meet the Candidates at the park.
That's candidates for the park, right? For the CIC.
I thought it was for
So
council.
do we, but
No,
Debbie, didn't
CIC,
you?
they're voting.
I just found that out today too.
Well, then I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just found that out today. that-
Boy, am I messed
that-
up today.
No, we all thought it was.
It's very misleading. How
Yeah,
is-
we
how
all
is-
thought it was because they just come out with, you know, with all the candidates. And then, you know, for the election, and then that come up on the thing. Yeah, that's what we thought it was too, but they
I
said
thought it
no.
was for council.
Yeah, so did we.
I just found out too today that, our bid for another piece of property that is tax delinquent has been passed. They're going to review it and start the process to, sign us over that, another piece of property. It's a city lot down on 3rd Street, 3rd Avenue Southeast. It's one of the ones,
It's right beside our,
it's one of the ones right next to the other property we have down there.
Mr. Dunn.
And we have to give Amy and Debbie credit for that, because they found it for us, and I applied for it.
We were searching and Amy saw it. Reach out and grab it.
I'm glad I got paid for it before all that happened.
Also, Friday the 20th, I won't be here, I'll be taking a personal day on Friday the 20th, so you're all aware of that. Mayor?
Yeah, I said. All right, well, thank you, Jim.
Can we go back on one thing?
Yes.
For the gentleman down south of us with the 25-year qualification, did he indicate the amount of money he's looking for out of curiosity?
Yes, he did. Oh, no, what do you look, no, he just said he could, you go to Union Hall and get $41.
43.
Or $43 an hour.
Just gonna have to go to Union Hall.
Yeah, oh yeah, the one he said that, you know, I mean, he was nice about it and everything. Yeah. I don't think he was looking for $43, but,
I was just curious. That's interesting, that 43 for the electrician.
yeah.
Line.
Or,
License line.
If they're in union.
right.
All right.
That's probably journeyman.
Solicitor Battle, do you have anything for us tonight?
So, yeah, just two things. First one, thank you for, I understand there was a special meeting to authorize the opioid One Ohio memorandum of understanding. So thank you for getting that. I had it submitted last week. Late Friday afternoon, I got an email that said they've now extended it until this Friday. So I considered whether or not, I debated whether or not I should tell you that, knowing that, but at the time I didn't know that it would be extended, and Deb gave me a release from the Ohio Attorney General where they're having trouble getting people to sign on throughout the
Like how
state
they-
of Ohio.
Yeah, they didn't give him enough time.
They,
Yeah, it was crazy.
It wasn't a lot of time, but as the Attorney General says in the notice, they go to trial in September, and in the trial that they have in September, it's not Ohio and its constituent political subdivisions, it is the state of Ohio. So if you don't join in and they go to trial, even if they win or get a settlement, there's nothing to say that it has to be distributed among the political subdivisions. So that is submitted. Hopefully, because they've now extended it, the number of participating subdivisions goes up. And then I've been working with Jim on the abandoned mobile home that plagues 225 6th Avenue. And I looked into every possible avenue to try to lawfully remove that. And because it's a separately titled piece of property, it has its own title. Ownership is evidenced by that title. It's not been permanently affixed to the real estate, it's my understanding, so it remains a mobile home with its own title, which means the only way that we can, I called the land bank to see if they do like the demolition assistance. They said no, they don't deem it to be a structure because it's a mobile home. There's some avenues with having it declared a nuisance, which would be a very protracted process potentially. The easiest and likely quickest, although not as quick as council would probably like, method to take title to it and remove it would be through an eviction action. The eviction statute actually allows for mobile homes, and there's a process there if you evict somebody from a mobile home, how you can take title to it and then remove it if it's worth less than $3,000. As a last-ditch effort in the hope of avoiding the need to file the complaint, my understanding is Jane Wareheim of 10611 Elton Street in Navarre owns it, or is the previous titled owner of it. I stopped by her house this evening before the meeting in the hopes that she would speak with me. It's dilapidated, uninhabitable is my understanding. But she was either not there or didn't answer. I left her a note, and just said, hey, if you would please give me a call to discuss this, just to avoid us having to essentially file a lawsuit against her. But because that paperwork is done, and Jim has served the necessary notice to file, which is a 3-day, and after we get our judgment, it'll be another 14-day notice that we'll have to serve. Rather than waiting to see if I hear back, I would ask if council is willing that a vote be had authorizing me to file a complaint for eviction against Jane Wareheim to recover title to the mobile home.
So moved.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
And that is all I have. I'll have that filed, unless something drastic changes and I hear back, I'll get it filed shortly, and then we'll get a hearing in about a month. We'll just continue with the process from there. But it's just, it's not a very fast process. It's going to be a months-long process. We'll get to it.
Is that all, Steve?
That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we have anything else? All right,